and the sides of a triangle. And basically the way it works is opposite the biggest angle in a triangle is going to be the biggest side. Opposite the smallest angle is going to be the smallest side. That's all you need to know for now. That's what we're going to be doing today, ordering the sides from biggest to smallest and the angles as well. You guys have probably seen something like this before. We're going to play around with the triangle and see how this works. So right now we have a triangle, and somebody tell me the order of the side lengths from biggest to smallest. Might want to raise their hand. In terms of A, B, and C. Yeah, C is the biggest. Okay, it's 10.76. B is next, 9.65. A is next. This is the smallest. Now, if you look at the angles, the same is true. Angle C right here is the biggest angle, 82 degrees. Angle B is the next biggest angle, which is opposite the next biggest side. And the smallest angle is opposite the smallest side. No matter how you play around with this, we can change this around and make A the biggest. When A becomes the biggest, oh no, it's not the biggest right now. Let's make B smaller. There we go. Then it becomes the biggest angle as well. That's all you need to know for this lesson. That's what I was saying. It was a pretty simple lesson. So opposite the biggest angle is always the biggest side, and vice versa. Same for small. All right. Example 1. It says order the angles from smallest to biggest. Okay, based on the information, you guys should be able to look at the side lengths and say what's the smallest and what's the biggest. All right, so first of all, which one's the biggest side? Well, it's not really labeled, but this is the biggest side. Next biggest is this one. And then this is the smallest. Okay. So, since 10 is the smallest side, all you have to do is look and see what is opposite of that side, and that would be angle A. So to start out with, the smallest angle is angle A. Next, 33 is the next smallest side. So the next smallest angle would be opposite of that, would be angle C. And finally, we're going to find the biggest side. Opposite of that would be angle B. So from smallest to biggest, we have angle A, angle C, and angle B. Here we just have some units, some decimals, and fractions. We can still pretty much tell, though, this is going to be the biggest because it's 25. This is going to be in the middle. This is going to be the smallest. Okay? Now we're going to order from biggest to smallest, the other way around. Make sure you read the directions on the worksheet. Shh. Okay? So we're going to look at the biggest first. Opposite the biggest is C. Okay. Next biggest would be the 24.5, so opposite that is A. And of course there's only one thing left to do, but smallest side opposite that would be B. So that would be from biggest to smallest. All right, now let's go the other way. If you're given the angles, you can actually do the opposite. It's a two-way street. It's a relationship between the angles and the sides are the same. So now we're going to look at the angles and order the sides from smallest to biggest. Okay, so first of all, let's find the smallest angle. It'd be the 29 degrees, that's the smallest. So opposite that is side B. So that's going to be the smallest side. Next, we have the 36 degrees, good. Opposite that is A. So that's the next biggest, or smallest, depending on how you want to say it. And then finally, opposite angle 115 would be the biggest side, BAC in this case. Okay, real easy. Now, the final example is a little bit more involved. It's going to take a lesson from last week. What's the issue with this one? Yeah. You guys already know what to do. All right, how do you find this right here? Add them up and subtract it from 180, right? Because they should add to 180. So that's going to be 180 minus, we can do the math, right? 92 plus 30 is 122. That will give us that one. That's going to be 58. So you don't need all three angles to figure the third one out, right? You just need two, because we know that up to 180. All right, so this says order from biggest to smallest. Okay, so we're going to start with the biggest angle, which is 92 degrees. That means that the side opposite C must be the biggest side. It makes sense, too, because it kind of looks like the hypotenuse of a right triangle, even though this is not a right triangle, because it's 92, not 90. All right, the next biggest angle is 58. Opposite of that would be A. And then finally, the smallest angle is 30. Opposite that is B. That's all this lesson is just seeing the relationship between the sides and the angles.